This episode is brought to you by Schismatic Industries. Schismatic Industries is gi and no-gi jiu-jitsu apparel. You can check out their apparel at www.schismaticindustries.com, which is spelled Schismatic Industries. You can also follow them on Instagram at schismatic_industries and check them out for the best gi and no-gi jiu-jitsu apparel. This episode is also brought to you by Guardian Oil. You can follow them at www.tryguardianoil.com or follow them on Instagram at handle tryguardianoil. Guardian Oil is a spray, a cleansing spray you can use before or after training, especially in the grappling department, to keep you clean, keep your skin healthy, soft, and clean from infection and germs.
I'm a champion now. If you thought I was a pain in the ass before, you got no idea what you're in store for.
Who the fuck is that guy?
The Doctor and the Driver podcast
starts now.
What a card.
Yeah.
What a card.
From top to bottom, it was pretty darn good.
Insane. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
All around great fights from the very first to the very last. I want to tell you a story about my cue before we get Sean on here.
Why? You think you won't think it's cool?
No, it's a good story. I think you'll like it.
Let's hear it.
So I'm Cuban, right?
Yeah, that's what they call it.
I don't know.
That's what the kids call it.
That's what I call it.
All the kids
But,
Cuban.
So I'm Cuban, right? And then I'm like done. Like I get to the step where I finish, but one spot is oriented wrong. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't think much of it. And I just scramble and go again. And it's the same thing. And I'm like, I've literally done this cue thousands of times,
Mm-hmm.
like thousands, like pretty much all day, every day. And now all of a sudden, like when it's done, there's this one piece that's fucked up. So then I just can't get over it, and I just rack in my brain, and I keep messing with it.
You can't sleep.
So I literally couldn't sleep. Yeah, I did.
Cubes in your nightmares.
Yeah, I was.
What color was it?
It didn't matter.
It was always one color off.
No, I would even orientate the cube differently and do it, say, backwards or right from the side, and there would just be one that was messed up, but it wasn't always the same piece. But it'd be in the same spot, but it'd be different color.
Mm.
And I'm like, what the fuck? Like my code's not working. So I'm starting Googling stuff. I'm watching like YouTube videos, and like it's hard to find the stuff I'm looking for because I'm like, Rubik's Cube algorithm not working. Like that's what I'm looking for, which really doesn't make sense. And I'm like, it's going hard to find because I know, like beyond the shadow of a doubt, I know I'm doing it right. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I stumble upon this thing called I already forgot what it's called, but where you accidentally twist one piece, and it's not like that piece that's going to mess up, but if you can count like if your corner piece, like if a certain color on a corner piece, if it's like oriented to the left, it's like a value of 1. If it's oriented up, it's like a value of 0. And if you count them with the number value, every color and every corner has to have a certain number value in order for it to be solvable. And if you accidentally flip one and it messes that up, even you might be able to fix that piece, but the very last step it's going to be unsolvable. So I was cubing so hard, so fast, I disorientated one, and they're like to fix it, you just gotta, once you get to that last piece, if you know you're doing it right, like you're not messing it up, just grab that piece and twist it right back. So that's what I did. I twisted it right back, like as if it was solved.
Mhm.
and then I'd scramble, solve, and that was it. So I'm like, damn, I was cubing so hard, I fucking broke my cube.
Damn, dude. Did that sound really cool in your head?
No, I understand.
Yeah.
It's kind of. I know it's not that cool.
Yeah, dude.
Dude. I was up 4
You
hours
tell
ago.
your wife,
Fucking
you go, babe. Babe.
no,
Been ripping this cube so hard I broke it.
dude. We were driving yesterday. We were just out and about, and I'm just like, I don't understand. She's like, what are you still talking about this? I'm like, I don't understand how it's not solving.
Yeah. Like, Kimberly, you don't get it.
Bro, I was getting deep. She was not having it. I was like, maybe it's a sign. And she's like, for what? I'm like, maybe it's like, I think, like when you think something should work, it just doesn't. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, it should work. Why is it not working?
You broke it.
I literally just twisted the piece.
Doesn't that, they're like, you need to get like a high quality cube.
No, I was just like, and then like, she'd be saying something, and then she'd look over, she's like, Gage, I'm like, still fucking my cube. She's like, what? She's like, are you listening to me? I'm like, sorry, no, I'm trying to figure this thing out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just twisted a piece. I was like, I remember the last stop I made was to Walmart, and I'm like, I think I might just get another cube. And she's like, no, don't get another one. I'm like, something's wrong with mine. I know it.
Well, I mean, if you would have bought another one, you would have known then. You'd have been like, all right,
Yeah,
this one's
yeah.
fucking broken.
Back in my head, I knew because I'm like, I'm not messing this up. She's like, YouTube it. I'm like, I know I'm doing it right. Like, I know I am. I was just trying all kinds of different shit. But anyways, I told Sean I wouldn't keep him long. So let me get him in here real quick. I'll just copy and paste that. Oh, you always email it to me.
You have a laptop.
I know, but I have to text it to him, so what's the laptop will help me?
If you had an Apple iPad or iPod.
That's never gonna happen. That's never gonna happen. So yeah, I'll see what he wants to do. So I'll see if he wants to. I feel like if we start talking, there's a lot of stuff to talk about in the main card. I feel like he might feel left out, but if he wants to stick around, then it's up to him. I will ask him if it starts counting us down. We might just like resend it to him because I told him I'd want him on for the whole show. But
Well, I told you, Gage, I have to work.
no,
So
I understand.
we're not going to have the countdown.
Is that before? I don't know how long that is.
It's an hour usually.
Are you sure? I feel like it was sooner. No, we'll be done by 5:15 or whatever time, for sure. I thought it was way shorter than that for some reason. It's like an hour with 3 people.
Yeah.
Are you excited about work?
No. Nope.
You don't love your job?
No.
Is it not? Is it like did the hype like shut down like when you started working?
There never was hype. I knew what I was going into.
Oh,
Yeah.
well then that's your own fault.
Well, yeah. Well, like, dude, I don't think I'm different from anyone else.
What do you mean?
All this, like, all those people that are like, do something you love. You think fucking accountants love going to do taxes? Get the fuck out of here.
No, but I do think people love their job. Some people.
They love it as a job.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. That's like saying, why do people retire then? They love their fucking job so much. Like, what are you talking about? It's a means.
I guess I see what you're saying.
No one would do it. Would you do
I
it for
love my job,
free?
but I wouldn't do it. No,
Yeah.
or for fun. No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't. I like where your head's at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like your attitude. I feel like you're being snappy. I
Yeah.
feel like you're coming at me, bro.
Yeah, I am
I
coming
feel
at you.
I feel like hostile.
Yeah, well, I
Some
hope the
people,
old people.
I think would be excited about going to work. Certain things, I don't know. No
Unless
one,
you're
you
a
think,
professional athlete.
or professional something. Like let's say you're a professional. Oh, I don't know. Like a chef. Like they're probably excited. They probably love cooking.
Dude,
You don't think so?
you think dinner rush is fun for a chef?
A chef, high level chefs, like they're on their dime. You know what I mean?
Nope.
I don't like your negativity right now towards the world. I think some people are excited to go to work.
I don't think so.
I think it's a very small amount of people, but I think some people do.
I think it's like 5% of people.
Oh, I'd say lower. So you're actually more optimistic than me. But yeah.
All
Oh,
right, he's here. You ready?
yeah. Let me.
Hey,
Sean, what's up, buddy?
nothing much.
You at the gym?
No, well,
Oh,
actually, I'm in my home gym, like messy garage and HQ of Schismatic Industries.
hell yeah! Look at that. HQ itself.
Yeah, just a bunch of random boxes.
How you doing, man?
Good. It's been a while since we talked in person.
I know. It seems like it.
Mhm.
This is Alex with me again, as usual. If you remember.
Oh yeah,
How's it going?
it's going good, man. How about you?
Good. Good.
So we got a lot to get into, and not a lot of time. Alex has to go to work.
Hospital life. Cool.
Yeah. Well, Alex works at CVS, I think, right, Alex?
Oh, okay. I always assume people work at hospitals. I guess that's because I do the same. Because he's a pharmacist, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got
He loves his job. We were just talking about it.
you. Yeah.
So you did, or were you able to watch the main card, or you did not?
I was not able. Like
Okay.
whenever I went to buy, screen wouldn't change, and the other options didn't quite pan out. But there's plenty there. It was crazy seeing some of the grappling in the undercard.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
talk about all that for sure. I
Yeah.
was wondering if you there's just some random jujitsu shit I want to talk about too with you.
Oh,
Um,
absolutely.
when we get to the main card, I was wondering, do you want us to let you bounce, or do you want to just stick around? There's a lot to talk about. I don't know if you just feel left
Yeah,
out.
it's up to you guys. I got about an hour before I get up.
Okay.
So, Alex has got to go to work, and I gotta go when my daughter gets up.
There you go. Okay.
Yeah, we
Well,
won't spoil the main card for you. There's enough to talk about.
yeah, we'll do some all the prelim talk and then some jujitsu talk, and then I got some questions for you, and then we'll just let you bounce. Then Alex and I'll just run through the main card real quick
Sounds good.
afterwards.
Thank you.
Let's see. So let's start with the first fight. Let's start with my boy Chase Hooper.
Dude, that was crazy.
Walk us through some of those from the M&R roll to the leg exchanges, because you'd be able to do it a lot better than me.
I mean, he kind of waited until Barrett stepped forward, and he timed it perfectly. Like, whenever I've seen like M&R rolls in MMA, just like, or the one other time that I've seen it, it's either not worked or like the dude got kneed and got knocked out. Is the person he was trying to do it on time to perfectly, and like caught that knee on his chin. But that was, I mean, obviously somebody else. But with Chase being like a Pan Am champ with jiu-jitsu and a brown belt, like he timed that perfectly, got in. And the thing about like the M&R rolls is like you start off in a reaped position, so that leg is already like super deep. And how he started off, like when he landed it, he was below like the knee, so like Chase's legs were wrapped below Barrett's knee, so there wasn't a super amount of danger. Like I don't think he could have done any damage there, but the fact that he was able to hang on to that position, he was able to keep working and keep digging, as how it really needs to work. I mean, obviously there's exceptions to the rule, but your knees need to be above, the person's knee that you're attacking, really, to get the leverage and isolate those tendons, making the heel hook effective. Otherwise you're just, torquing on an ankle, people can let those things pop. unless it's really catastrophic. I mean, like I said, there's exceptions to the rule. But Barrett realized he was in danger, kept holding on to Chase's arm, and then, Chase punched him a few times and was able to, get those arms free. And even Joe Rogan kind of broke this down. I think it was Daniel Cormier too, is like a lot of time people would think that Chase would turn his legs to the inside more to expose the inside heel. But he went to the outside, after he changed from the inside heel to the outside heel. So he brought a crossbody, realized he wasn't going to get it there. Barrett may have had him like too close, but when he took it to the outside, he leaned on that leg and then kind of reached around his back and caught that heel and then just ripped it. And that reap position, like with his outside leg being over, facing kind of in between Barrett's legs, it adds an immense amount of pressure on those knee tendons. Like you can finish a heel hook, no problem, like without reaping from that, but it's a lot harder. It gives your opponent way more opportunities to escape. And needless to say, like, I think they said Barrett was a purple belt, and then Chase is a brown belt who's like done like world class. Like he's won Pan Ams, which is pretty big, especially like Brown. I don't know. You could see the level of difference in their grappling, because there were some instances where I believe Barrett could have escaped. Like, the legs were, just how Chase had him, but he didn't take that opportunity, probably because he was so focused on other things like grabbing Chase's arms. Maybe worried about the heel hook, because he dominated that fight. Barrett did. Like if he could have held out like another minute and that buzzer would have went off, I think he would have won. Yeah. So.
I have a question about the reap. Now that you bring that up, because
Okay.
I try just because I don't know. Some people like, well, you can't really do that. So I try when I train to not reap, but I always hit my inside heel hooks from not reaping, from 50-50 is how I usually hit mine. So I was wondering, do you think reaping for an inside heel hook is more effective, or is that more of an outside heel hook thing?
Let's see. Honestly, it's like when you reap for that inside heel hook, it's like it's called the 411 or your honey hole or something like that. Like the pressure created with the reap and the amount of pressure you're able to add in with your braking mechanics to that torque you're given to the heel, it's catastrophic. It's no more dangerous than somebody learning how to do a Kimura first day. I think the only difference is that, as with the Kimura, somebody gets it deep on you, you can kind of yell, oh, tap, that hurts. Yeah, it's not really that way with a heel hook. You just see pressure, or you feel pressure, and then all of a sudden there's snaps, and then you're going to the emergency room. But I think the reap and the inside heel adds more and different pressure. Is like outside heel hooks, obviously attack what's called your lateral crucible ligament, and you can walk around, without that for a little bit. Like you can pop it. It's going to hurt. And if it's completely torn, you obviously need surgery, but it's not like a catastrophic knee failure. Your medial crucible ligament that gets attacked with an inside heel hook, reaping or not, you need surgery. Like that's a very bad tear. Because you see, it was Gordon Ryan and I forget who he fought they're not doing tournaments anymore, but it was some super fight, and he tore his LCL from reaping on the guy. Like Gordon tore his because he moved wrong, and he was able to finish and win the match and walk around for a while. He ended up having to get surgery, but like he wasn't even limping after the match.
Oh shit.
I'll think of it probably randomly in the next 20 minutes and shout it at you and think I'm crazy. But yeah, I definitely think reaping adds more pressure. I also think that it gets a bad rap because it's hard to escape. It's harder to escape. Like, it's progressing the position. It's like, go, I think it's ridiculous. Well, I mean, IBJJF has changed their ways. And starting in a month, that's allowed now. I think in the black belt division for nogi in their tournaments is reaping and heel hooks, which was never allowed before, and it was always given this bad rap by them. You know, you heel hook somebody, it's like they equate it to killing them. You know, whereas it's no more dangerous than anything else. You just got to know what you're doing. But I think it got that bad rap because it was harder to escape. You know, it's a scary position, because when you've gotten reaped before, it's like there's immediate pressure on that knee.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, maybe I should move. And the dynamics change. Whereas like traditional rolling, can buy you some time and help you get out of a heel hook. That no longer applies. So
that makes sense. My argument would be against it would be, I'll just go to a worldwide known gym, 10th Planet, Eddie Bravo's gym. He says they all reap from day one. White belts, they reap, they heel hook, and he says they don't get hurt any more accelerated or whatever than any other gym. You know what I mean? And where some gyms are like, don't reap, don't this, don't that. But Eddie Bravo's guys are reaping from day one, and they don't have. It's not like all their guys are just getting hurt all the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's like it's an interesting perspective, like from that gym. Oh gosh, I like I said, I don't think it's any more dangerous than any other submission. The only reason I'd have a problem with white belts doing it is you ever get that white belt that drills at 1,000 miles an hour?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that guy twerking on my knee.
Yeah.
And that's really the only thing I'd be choosy on. Like my white belts, like I wouldn't have a problem teaching them leg locks. I even tell them, I was like, we're gonna start, like my morning classes, and like we're gonna start learning some legs, because what kills me, and it was a huge eye opener, is like we were all blue belts in Atlanta, and some of our guys, including myself, got wrecked with leg locks. This was a couple of years ago, and we're like, all right, we got to start learning this, and it was. Nobody really did them in our area for a while, and one of our guys started learning them, and then like my wife actually she threw them back in like when she was a blue belt and purple belt at her original gym, so we kind of learned from from those two. But I think if you're brought up with it, like if you start with leg locks, and you're taught like what to feel, like what's bad and what's good, it's like, all right, this is what it's going to feel like when it's about to break, this is the erratic movement you don't want, it's like, I think it would develop you well, and it would lessen the chance of injury, and it'd just be like anything else, like I said, because I get people injured, from, like I said, Kimuras, arm bars, everything like that, because people just will crank them with reckless abandon. That would be my only reservation with a white belt throwing them.
Yeah, I respect that though. And yeah, it's almost like you have to drill it, and you have to. You should drill it before you should be allowed to perform it in like a live roll. It's like, all right, if you're going to try this, like even from an offensive perspective, right? Like if you're here, like be careful with your partner, because past this point, it's trouble. You know what I mean? Give him time to realize he's in trouble. If you're putting it on, you should know you have them in trouble, right?
Right. Oh, absolutely.
Let's see. Let's find out what was next on there. Was it the Moicano fight?
No, Tisha Torres.
That was crazy.
Yeah, that was nuts.
She came out like a freaking cannonball, just wrecking that girl. I mean, they stopped that due to, like she said, she caught a finger in the eye, but I didn't see it. She just got punched a ton in the face. I was like, I can't see out of that eye. I called it.
Yeah, I think she wanted no part of it after that. I think this was Alex. Alex could help me. Was this a short notice replacement? Because wasn't this supposed to be Angela Hill?
Yeah, it was.
Do you know why Hill pulled out? Was it COVID or something?
I can find out.
So this is a short notice replacement. I think
she
it
just
was
got schooled.
I think it was kind of expected, because and Angela Hill's really good. I think this last minute replacement was just kind of like throwing hope in the wind.
Yeah, I
Well,
would have definitely enjoyed to see the Angie Hill fight because I think she would have been a better caliber fighter. You know, and
yeah.
not taking anything away from the girl that fought Tisha, but Tisha's been doing that like a long time. I remember that was one of the conversations with my wife and I was like first dates. It's like, oh, yeah, you watch UFC. Oh, who's your favorite fighter? And she said, well, Tisha Torres, because she's like 5 foot tall. My wife's only like 4'11". She's like, she's the smallest girl there. Yeah.
Oh, you watched 4'11"?
Yeah. Oh no,
How
she's
tall?
kind
How
of
tall are you, Sean?
6 foot.
Oh shit, giant in the house. Alex and I, Alex, we're like the same height, right? Like 5'9".
Dude, I'm 5'10.5". Okay.
Okay. Well, remember when your dentist told you you're going to be like 7 foot tall?
Yeah, he's a liar.
That's why I
Well,
don't trust dentists.
yeah, what do they measure something in your teeth? Alex told when I met Alex when we were like 14. Alex told me like my dentist tells me I'm going to be like 6'4", and we used to make fun of him. Thank God he didn't actually end up that tall.
I have giant jaw then, I guess. I don't know.
So yet another reason you should get into combat sports. You know, you got a giant jaw. You could probably take some punishment.
Yeah, maybe.
Alex says in the new year he's gonna hit up a jiu-jitsu gym. He's got some
All
buddies that
right.
train.
That's awesome.
That's what he says.
If
We're gonna
they'll
hold
be
him to
open,
it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, we'll see. They're open. They're open. Dude.
I have to go.
At least-
I have to knock 3 times.
They're open on the DL, dude,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, not that I know from experience, but that's what I hear. I hear that the gyms are open on the DL.
Speakeasy jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
That's right. Sean, so you fought MMA, right? So I got a question about this. Oh, God, I'm still jumping the gun. When we get to the Wakanda fight, I got a question about that. Because I think you told us you've been knocked out, right, in MMA?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, then I'll save that for then because I just have a question about the stoppage, but I don't want to go out of order. For someone because Alex and I we've never been knocked out, so I want it from a guy who has from their perspective. But what is next on the list, Alex?
Gavin Tucker dominating Billy Q.
Yeah, who saw that coming? Not me.
I didn't. Lost all my money on that. Well, not all.
I was rooting for Billy Q. Believe it or not, one of our black belts at our gym was training partners with him down in Tampa and Matt Arroyo.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah. So I wanted him to win. It was unfortunate. It's like I think he got outstruck and then he got tired.
Yeah.
His will broke a little bit because Billy Q was I don't know what Tucker's grappling background is, but Billy got dominated on the ground too.
And he's usually the better grappler, isn't he?
Right. Oh, he comes from a world-class grappling gym like Matt Arroyo and like Dan Martinez comes from that gym, and he's EBI champ right now. I think in welterweight, or maybe one class up. I don't know. I just think it goes back to like my coach has a saying. It's like you take a black belt, you punch him in the face, he gets a brown belt. You punch him in the face, and again he gets a purple. And Billy took a lot of punishment in that. So by the end, like if you're rocked, it doesn't matter. Especially if the other guy's got some grappling too.
He looked good. I mean, I don't want to just shit on Billy Q, but I mean, Gavin Tucker just looked really good.
He did.
Very surprised.
There's no doubt that Billy belongs in the UFC. Like he was a great fighter, and it was a good fight. But I think Tucker dominated just a little bit more, for sure.
Yeah, he looked good. His stand-up looked good too.
Very calm and composed.
Yeah.
He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu as well.
Is he?
Okay. So that would make sense, especially dominating top. You get to the ground because as sometimes it's if they're not wearing the belt, you can't tell, especially like in they fight.
Yeah, I was thinking every time because he was doing so well on the feet, and like in my head, every time he got Quarantilla down, I'm like that might be a mistake. Like Billy Q might be able to pull something off, even from the bottom maybe, but. It was just a Tucker show.
Yeah, there was definitely less of a discrepancy in grappling skill there as opposed to like Chase Hooper and Barrett.
Yeah. And then I've done MMA style grappling with gloves on and such. Oh, I'm sure you can attest. It is a little bit different, right? It's a little different. Like me and my buddy who used to fight MMA, we've done just rounds in the garage with MMA gloves on, where we're hitting each other on the ground, and it, it shouldn't be that surprising, but like it really changes like your game from the bottom, where you're no longer okay with space. You know what I mean? Like you want to clinch them, and then you're working from a much tighter position. You don't have it's just different, right?
What's the biggest thing that I saw is like when I've done that for my fights and when I've trained, like I thought I was going to be at I told you about this, like Daytona had a tournament where it was combat jiu-jitsu. It ended up falling through.
Yeah.
But like I was training, strikes on the ground, and you go from playing the sport to more like self-defense oriented because you don't want to get hit in the face.
Right.
So, but it does. I think it makes your game tighter because you're keeping your elbows in, you're keeping your hands up. You like you said, you're not okay with space. You have to have that like checklist to make sure that guy can't hit you. And if you do, you get a pretty swift reminder that you're not doing it right.
Yeah. So a 5 fingers to the face reminder, huh?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so we'll just leave that there. Gavin Tucker looked good. I thought he looked very big for featherweight. He looked like a very big dude. I think he probably cuts a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So yeah, the Moicano and how do you say that guy's last name? Raphael, whatever, like the Russian dude. Fitzev.
Fiziev, I feel like
Fiziev?
that is how they were saying it.
Oh, maybe. Oh, I just have questions about the stoppage. I have questions about. So, Sean, if you remember this, so he got caught, and then he hit the ground. And in my opinion, because Alex said it looked like an early stoppage, and I can see both sides. So, when the way he fell, it seemed to me like he looked unconscious when he fell, and it was almost like the ground woke him up. And then as soon as Homeboy jumped on top of him and hit him, the ref stopped it. But he recovered full close guard. As soon as the guy came in, he recovered close guard. The ref stopped it, and then he kind of protested. But as he was like crawling back to his corner, he was super wobbly and like going side to side. And so that's when I was like, well, maybe it was a good stoppage because he doesn't know what the hell he's doing.
Yeah, that makes it a good call. I would think, some people protest that, that haven't been there, but you could be knocked out on your feet, like the lights are on, but nobody's home, kind of a thing. Like I've hit people that hard. Like, gosh, there was this poor kid where, I accidentally I was meaning for like a body shot, but he was shorter than me, and I thought I busted his teeth out, sparring, and he goes against the ropes, and falls forward and kind of, stumbles. I was like, hey man, you good? He just does not respond to me, but he's like still walking, I was like, you good? You okay? Yeah. And then he just proceeds the lights come back on and he just starts punching me again. And I was like, okay, well, that was weird. And then I've had people like fall limp. I've never had anybody go stiff on me. And then for my own experience, I remember like being punched and then like, standing up and then kind of waking up immediately on the ground like that, but you're still loopy. My knockout was, like I was out, but some people said that I was like kind of like crawling around a little bit, like I was still moving. And I don't think the ref, let him get on me and start punching me, because I was out enough, where he was like, okay, clearly he's knocked out. But yeah, you get hit hard enough, like even from a regular shot, and you don't know where you are, like I've gotten hit where I can still see and I can verbalize, but like half my body's numb, because the brain does weird things when it gets rattled like that. And then I've had, I don't know, it's weird when you get punched, and they accumulate, so much where you can still seemingly be moving around, but yeah, like you don't know where you are, or you can know where you are, but your body's not functioning. It's like so he could have potentially been rocked and maybe not out, but maybe he, like at that point, if you're rocked hard enough, your body doesn't respond right, and so like he got closed guard, but when, like you said, when he was walking back to his corner, he was still kind of wobbly,
Mm-hmm.
Like I've had that too. You're just it doesn't work the way you want it to, and the ref probably realized that was the scenario, and he wouldn't have been able to properly defend himself. And that's kind of the rules I think the refs go by for calling the fight. If you can't intelligently defend yourself, whether you want to or not, it's out.
Yeah.
They don't want anybody. It's weird. It's like this is a violent sport. We hit each other in the face, try to break our bones, but we don't want anybody getting hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things. Depends how you look at it, right? Like if you want to look at, it's a barbaric sport, anyways, kind of, sorta, but we don't want long-term damage. Alex, do you still think it was early or?
I mean, in my head, I think, okay, so what if he would have been able to clinch him, and then he holds him there for 10
clears
seconds.
his head.
Clears his head.
Yeah, no, and that's a good point. Like you have some refs that are like, gosh, I forget who are the ones that would just let fights go.
Oh, like Mario Yamasaki. That's why.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of. The dude that
he
does the art.
He doesn't ref anymore.
Well, it's like there were so many memes after one of them. It was like, if he dies, he dies.
I seen one that says Mario Yamasaki shows the heart because he's signifying that he won't stop a fight until the fighter's heart stops.
Which is so questionable. I would hate being a ref. I always feel like you'd be like the bad guy. You either stop it too soon, or
it's a hard job.
Way too late. Yeah, and everybody. I would say like there are, people from the couch that are shouting what a ref should do as much as the fighters. It's like you don't know. It's like you can't see. Obviously, you're having to judge what the other person is like, what the fighters are feeling without actually getting hit.
Yeah.
You've got to pay attention to so many minute details. Like I would hate it. I would hate it. I could ref jiu-jitsu. It's like I could tell when a person's out. That's cool. It's like you just wake him back up, but a person get punched in the face, like that's real damage.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't think you'd hate it if you found out what they got paid, because Alex and I looked this up, and it seems like a pretty good gig. Remember that, Alex?
Yeah.
Dude, they make bank. It's freakish how much money they make. Alex, do you remember?
I remember it's like in the millions.
Dude, it's a lot. It's crazy. Like a professional ref, like in the Nevada State Athletic Commission, like per fight. Alex was saying they make like $50,000, like per fight or something like that. He's looking.
So and you can have multiple fights on an assignment.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, and they're usually doing it every weekend. They usually have like 2 or 3 each. Like right, like this, like Sean will have 2 fights tonight, right? That you're reffing, 2 random ones. But if you make 50 G's each one and you're working every weekend, that's a good gig, dude.
I tell you what, like speaking of 2, it's like the guy that ref, Chase Hooper's fight. He was interesting. Like I liked it. He had a very kind voice. Like he was almost when Chase got hit in the downstairs, he was like, take your time. He was talking to one of his kids. I was like, what a nice guy. I was just watching 2 kids beat the crap out of one another.
Yeah, it's fun. It's funny how they have such different styles, like the refs, because like Big John McCarthy was always like super bold, like get over there, no coaching, here you go. And then other guys are like, take your time, it's good.
Yeah, so they get per pay-per-view, they get $10,000
per fight. They ref.
Yeah.
And these guys work every weekend, and they work multiple shows. They're reffing Bellator fights, they're reffing UFC fights.
Yeah, that was the thing that tripped me up. Is I've actually been the referee in 2 of my MMA fights has been on the UFC roster and whatnot, but he'll also get flown out for Abu Dhabi. Like he'll go out to Abu Dhabi and ref some of their fights. Like I always thought that it was like contractual work. It's like, all right, I'm with this organization, I ref with this organization. Like, no, do whatever.
Yeah, the same guys you see on the Bellator cards. Shit, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I think we put up like Herb Dean, who's one of the biggest refs in the game. He's worth like millions of dollars.
Yeah,
just it's kind of crazy.
Per year. So they estimate like per year the top guys make like $400,000. But Herb Dean's been doing it so long, it makes sense. His net worth is
okay. I would be a ref.
Yeah.
That's a good gig. I mean, it's a hard gig, but it's a good gig for that kind of cheese.
Yeah, You know what? I make harder decisions in my job currently for way less money. So okay,
Oh yeah,
I'm
for
on board.
sure. Yeah, it sucks to be like the villain though. You know that fucking ref, and it's hard.
Yeah.
It's harder to be a judge. I think.
Yeah. Oh
Or in fights, those
gosh.
guys. Well, for one, they suck, but for two, um, even if they don't suck, people go crazy on them.
So what was the Cub Swanson fight? Wasn't after Billy Q? Was no, it was the Russian fight.
Um,
Um, and
yes,
yeah, just
yeah,
talking
yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
The Cub Swanson is the last one we have to talk about. It's the last one of the prelims. I'm a big Cub Swanson fan myself, so I was very happy. I loved how emotional he got. So you might remember this, Sean, because I remember I was watching it live. He tore his ACL at Quintet. I forgot who he was grappling against. It was a big name guy. I don't remember.
Yeah, well, it was all like UFC fighters. I thought like team v team.
Yeah,
Um,
he was on Team UFC, I think, but they were all
or
like
okay.
they had the Strike Force guys. It was a lot of UFC fighters, but there's some grapplers too. But I think it was from a reap. I don't even think he was in a submission because heel hooks weren't allowed at Quintet.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's right.
I
That is
know.
some weird stuff.
I know, it was ridiculous. So anytime someone got like, I remember Anthony Smith was in several leg entanglements, and it's like, well, they can't really. I mean, obviously there's other leg locks, but I think the heel hook's the most powerful one, the most dangerous. So
For
when you're
sure.
guys in 50-50 and there's no heel hooks allowed, it's like, all right, okay.
We're just gonna sit here. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but so this was his first fight back since his ACL surgery. So
yeah. I had heard. I didn't watch it, but I had heard he tore it. You know, but that's not.
I was happy for Cub. I thought he looked
Oh
pretty
my
good.
gosh. Yeah, and that was definitely a clean knockout for sure. But I thought Cub was losing the fight until that like they got in the pocket and exchanged the uppercut and overhand that right just put him away. Yeah.
Yeah, he
Uh,
looked good. He looked good for sure.
oh yeah. The craziest thing to me, like when I think Cub Swanson, I think back to his fight with the Gracie. Um,
Chrome Gracie, yeah.
yeah, he he was actually denied to be trained in some gyms that were affiliated with the Gracies because they're like, look, I mean,
No,
it's
it's
like
weird.
I can kind of see the reason, but at the same time, it's like it's kind of a dick move.
I
You know,
think
it's like,
jiu-jitsu should be bigger. It should be bigger than that. As far as like being the bigger person, it
oh
should
yeah,
be
oh
way
for
more
sure,
welcoming. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely, it should. I mean, it's even. I mean, he found somebody to train him. It was like, shoot, I would have drove my happy butt over to like 10th Planet or something like that, or
Yeah.
somebody that had like no affiliation with that.
Yeah, it's so
Um,
shitty that it can still be political.
yeah, I mean, that really kills a lot of the joy in it. You wouldn't think it was. You wouldn't think how easy it is to get drawn into it. I don't know. It'd have been cool to have like Cub show up at your gym. All right, I need grappling work. Okay, yeah, let's do it.
That that'd be great.
You know,
I refer you to one of the upper belts. But yeah, that'd be great. That'd be cool to be there.
yeah. But I'm trying to think which schools it was, but we actually had a guy because we have federal law enforcement training center in our town, so we get a lot of actually government people that come in like trainees for like law enforcement and like the EPA or it's like all kinds of stuff, and a lot of them grapple, which is crazy. So we'll get a lot of new faces in depending on like the class cycle. And one guy was stopping in and he's like, one of my gyms actually denied Cub to train. And I was
Oh
like,
really?
really? I was like, I never got to talk to him more about that, but he was in full agreement with it. And I was
Wow.
like, it's kind of
Wow.
painful. I wish I could have picked his brain a little bit more, but yeah, and I don't even remember the guy's name, but they just stuck out to me. I was like, and I think he was a black belt too. And I was like, come on, man. I was like, be
Yeah.
better.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I'm with you there. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
But his assignment got up and he went back home. He was only here for like a couple weeks. Sometimes they're here for 6 months. Sometimes they're here for weeks. A couple days.
Yeah, I remember that too though. That's a shame. It really is. Well, Sean, we got one more thing to talk about, and then I think it's about to kick us out of here. So we got about 6 minutes, I
Okay.
think, because with 3 people, I only let you go like a certain amount of time, something like
Oh,
that.
really?
And then yeah, I think Alex, it's like 40 minutes, I think, right, for 3 people,
Yeah.
something like that.
Well, the
There's a
free
little
version.
4 minute, 5 minute little timer thing, and then we're just gonna run through the main card, anyways, and we'll be out of here in like 15 minutes too. But I do want to talk to you about some Matt Enforcer stuff.
Okay.
I have a question. So the question comes with the story. I'll try to be brief.
All
So
right.
I want you to be honest and tell me if it is something I was involved in. I want to see if I did the right thing, if I did the wrong thing. So we had this guy come in, first day ever, never trained before, right? And we were doing like a King of the Hill kind of thing, like guard passing, right?
Mhm.
And he was going against one of our other newer guys, Paul, some white belt, and just going crazy on him, just going crazy, like street fight style. And like they end up rolling off the mat, like against the wall, and this guy's still like grabbing Paul's legs and throwing him, like diving on him. And they're against like the wall, not a matted wall, just like the wall, and just going full retard, as I like to say. And I was like, what the fuck is this guy's deal? Like what? And then Paul's just a super nice guy, and he's just like going with it. And I'm like, if you walked in, you'd think there was like a street fight in the corner. It was crazy. I mean, this guy's never been trained before. Like, what's he doing this shit for?
Yeah.
So it came time to free rolling, and then I got to roll with him. I just fucked up. I just put it on him. I just gave him like tournament style. I just gave him everything I could, and he was getting frustrated. I'm like, let's go, round's still going, let's go. I was just in my head. I'm like putting him in his place. Like you shouldn't come in here and go full retard on people. You know what I mean? That's what I thought I was doing. But then the guy never came back. So I was like, it was racking my brain because I don't want to be an asshole, right? And then I was like, well, maybe it's not my place, my level. Maybe that's an instructor's place to do something like that. I was wondering if it was like for someone like that, like should you talk to him and tell him, or should you kick his ass in sparring and kind of let him know, or should you leave that for the instructor?
Yeah. Kind of depends. I think you did the right thing. If because it shows, it's like you're a blue belt. It's like, oh, one of their blue belt, especially if they got browns and blacks at the gym. It's like, well, I got crushed by like blue belt. Like it just shows how far down the ladder they are. And I'm not taking anything away from you. It's like if they were to get creamed by like one of the white belts, it's like that's how terrible you are. Like you're coming in and you're getting worked, by the lower belts. And I think if nobody else was doing it, that's fine. If that guy was being that big of a douchebag to be throwing one of your guys, one of your other white belts around, absolutely. Everybody should take it to him. However, my caveat with this is you can't be a douchebag when you're doing it. You have to put it on them with 100% technique. You got to leave like and it's okay to like match the aggression. I wouldn't become more aggressive than him and like make some of the same transgressions. But if you can show them like that, look, your jiu-jitsu is so terrible. It's like, look at what I'm doing. Like, and I'm effortless. Like you said, the guy was like getting frustrated and you were telling him that there was still, time on the round. You were clearly not expending as much energy as him. And therefore you were using jiu-jitsu against him. And and I wouldn't feel bad if he never came back because she should have realized it's like, look, I'm in a room full of killers. It's like they're beating me effortlessly, and I don't know if that's the kind of guy that you'd want in the gym because a normal person, when they roll off the mat and are like hitting somebody against a wall, something should trigger and be like, maybe we should reset and go back to where the padded stuff is, even if you've never done it before. You have no idea what jiu-jitsu is. It's like you realize, okay, this is where people walk when they're not on the mat. Let's get back on.
Yeah. If the guy who's doing it to Paul, like if he wasn't such a nice guy, I feel like that would have turned into like a fight. Like any normal person would be like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. Like we're not even on the mat anymore. What the hell's the problem?
There would sorry, I just got a notification with my iPad.
You're good.
No, it's definitely I think you were 100% in the right. And I think that it definitely, like, as you being a training partner with that guy, with the new guy, the aggressor was like, it is your place to do that, unless the only time I'd say that it wasn't would be like if your instructor came over to you and be like, all right, let's let this guy roll with him. And I think that would only happen if it were like similar belt,
Sure.
it's like if a purple belt came in, or a brown belt or a black belt started coming in, it's like they may want another, similar rank, unless they're, I don't know, try your hand at it and you end up whooping the guy, and then that'd be amazing.
Yeah. To me, this is a very interesting topic, and like I said, I felt like shit, and I was like, maybe that's an instructor's place. Maybe I was a douchebag, but like you said, I was just using jiu-jitsu. It was just submission after submission after submission, and then he would back off and like, man, I don't know anything. Like, I feel like shit, and I'm like, hey, man, let's keep going. Like, let's keep going. We still got 4 minutes left, and then I was just submitting him over and over. That's all I was doing.
Yeah.
It's not like I was being aggressive. It was just I wasn't giving him any position. I wasn't, if he was in my close guard, I'd triangle him. Like it's just what it was. I wasn't letting him pass and walking him through. Like, okay, well here you want to do this. I was just I'm going to beat you. I'm going to use my best offense. That's what I was doing. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
Were you the first person he rolled with after said incident?
Yeah, I was his very first free roller in his life.
I'd say that you were completely in your in your rights to do that in the gym. It was definitely good. Because what that should have done is, like, if he was butthurt over that, it means he came in with an ego. What should have happened was he should have been like, this guy clearly knows what he's doing. Maybe I should ask some questions, right? And not be like, bull in a china shop and just try to wreck everybody with, aggression, because it's clearly not working. That was he still pretty spastic with you, like trying to come at you with the same intensity? Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Very aggressive.
Because you gotta let them know. It's like, look, this is a legitimate place. It's like, I'm a legitimate, jiu-jitsu practitioner. It's like, this is, there has to be some level of respect. And some people, you can talk to them and they'll realize, some people will just kind of see the atmosphere in the gym and realize, and some people you have to show them. And he was clearly the one that you had to show them. Like, there are some people, like, and I've had similar experiences, like, that they come in and they just think that they're, amazing for some reason or another. It's, and they've never done the jiu-jitsu before, and they think they're going to be awesome at it, and they're turn out to be spastic, and you got to kind of put them down. And it's nothing you're doing maliciously. It's just like, dude, calm down. It's like, this is what we do. And I think that the line of going too far would be like if you were doing stuff that would be like a dick on purpose. It's like if you were grinding your forearm and his nose and face, or you were trying to do like just unnecessary things that were meant to cause only pain, and you were doing it for the specific reason of like, I don't like you. That would be like, crossing the line. I normally tell my students, like, in the mornings that, like, the difference between being a dick and not being a dick is your intention. It's like, if you're doing something, like if you're legitimately trying to pull off a move and the dude was like, that's more of a crank, that's a dick move. It's like, it's not a dick move. It was a crank and you tapped. He was trying to do something else. Now, if, said scenario was like, you got back control and he's purposefully grabbing like up here to try to get a crank submission because he doesn't like you, then that's a dick. But I doubt you were doing it like that. You were just showing the guy the ropes.
And no leg locks. I didn't leg lock him.
Yeah, there's nothing that guy can complain about. If he doesn't come back, it means his own ego is hurt because it was already inflated.
Okay, good. That's what I wanted to hear. But I wanted to make sure. I didn't know if you would have, I did want an honest answer. I didn't know if you'd be like, well, that's, maybe like more of an upper belt thing or more of a whatever thing. I just, the guy is a buddy of mine, and he's only been doing it for a little bit. And I'm like, neither guy really knows what he's doing. I don't know. I just thought it was hard to watch. It was the first time I've ever genuinely been upset. I'm like, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Oh yeah. And you gotta put it on those people. And it's like I said, it's not from a malicious place, but it's or how dare you come into our gym and do that? It's it's like, look, this guy needs some calming down. We'll work with him and just show him.
And obviously, he had no interest because he never came back. So maybe just a guy with an ego problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And and hopefully he comes back. Hopefully, maybe he takes like a couple days or a couple weeks or whatever, how long ever it takes to realize, that wasn't the way.
And there's levels to everything, right? I'm not a world champion over here. That's just to show something.
Oh yeah, there's definite levels. That's understatement of the century. Oh gosh, But yeah, it's like my last two matches, I've gotten to realize that pretty hard. What's crazy is like the guy that I fought in Philly, he's ranked number 8 on Flo's like no-gi brown belt
shit,
card.
really?
Yeah. I'm like, oh man, it's like that could have been me. No, but I wasn't good enough. Yeah.
Top 10 dude. That's impressive.
Yeah, and then Connor DeAngelis is higher than that, I think. I don't know.
See?
So, but I get to experience firsthand is like there are levels.
Making your way up, Sean. Well, thanks for joining us, buddy. We're gonna run through. We'll let you go. We're gonna run through this main card in like 10 minutes, and we're gonna be done too. So.
All righty. Well, it was awesome being on. Thanks for having me again.
Hell yeah, man. We'll do it again at some point for sure.
Sounds good.
See you,
All
buddy.
right.
Take care, man.
Have a good day.
See you guys. You too.
See ya.
Man, he was
Cool.
quick. He knew how Zoom worked.
What's that?
He knew how Zoom works.
Who did?
Sean, he's way faster at you. Probably because he has an iPad, a superior
Oh,
technology.
yeah. I literally have to punch in those numbers.
Dude, good God.
I don't know if I have to. I might be able to click the link.
No.
I could just click the link.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Dude, listen, I am not good with technology. It's just true. I mean, am I better than a 70-year-old
You're
grandma?
better
Yeah.
than my dad, probably.
Oh
Dude.
yeah, no. I'm good with like figuring out like the Xbox, turn it on, and phones and shit like that.
Dude, the amount of times I've shown my dad how to record something and watch it.
It's
He
baffling.
did it to me last night, and I about you ever want to like hit your own father?
Never actually. Well, one time I tried. It did not end
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever
Well,
told you that story, but it
yeah,
did
you
not end
did.
well.
But dude, I have shown you this at least 12 times in my life. Every single remote is the same, Dad. There's like a guide button, there's arrow keys, and there's a middle button that you press. Like this is it. And he's like, well, maybe I should write the steps down. I was like, you are not gonna write this down. It's fucking clicking a remote and moving over and clicking the thing you want to click. Like there is no paper needed. I was like, dude.
Your dad's a very old man. Maybe there was a paper needed.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's weird. It's weird how the younger you are, how you just get it. Like
I know that's gonna be us, bro. Like your
dude,
son's gonna
my
be like,
son,
Dad, you don't know how to code in the fucking
I know.
toaster to the refrigerator.
Dude,
I've told you 7 times. Haven't you learned Java yet, Gage?
my son will have the Xbox controller and he'll watch certain YouTube videos. And if he wants to find another one, like he doesn't know how to like spell everything and search everything, he'll go find a certain video that he knows the related video will be what he wants. And he'll go over and he'll fast forward he'll go to the one video and he'll bring the bar over like this and fast forward to the end to where it'll play the next video, and then he'll fast forward that one to the end and go to the next video, and then he'll go to those, then he'll go down with the whatever like the third video is to those related videos and find which one he wants. Weird.
Yeah.
Freaky.
All right, we got to talk about the main card.
Yeah, we do. We'll run through this real quick because I know you got to go to work. So,
I mean,
great night fights top to bottom.
Yeah, man, top to bottom, like everything is pretty exciting.
Maybe the best card I've seen all year. Top to, like as far as outcomes, and everything else, and name value,
name recognition, what actually happened in the fights.
Yeah, what was another really good one? I think it was the Colby Covington versus Tyron Woodley was a really good one, and it wasn't a pay-per-view. I think it lived up, right?
Yeah.
Because that was I remember it was like, how is this not a pay-per-view? Like the card was so good, and I think the results were great.
Mm-hmm.
This one, I mean, not very often you can say from early prelims to main card was super legit.
Mm.
So we'll get into Cyril. Is it Gane or is it Gain? How you say his name?
I was hearing game.
Gain. Okay, dude. Well, again, we are going to be quick, and I do want to talk about the man in the co-main quite a bit. So let's shotgun these. I gotta say, if it's, I think you said they said Gain. Dude, he might be the most technical heavyweight. Holy shit.
Yeah, he had a lot of
Heavyweights
sound.
don't fight like that, dude. Heavyweights don't usually fight like that. You watch guys like Ben Rothwell
Yeah,
compared to this dude. Impressive. And he's big. He's packing some muscle, dude. Very impressive.
Junior was mad about the stoppage.
Who's mad about the stoppage? Oh, Junior was?
Because he
Yeah,
said
he
he got
thought he
hit
got.
in the back of the head.
I don't think he did. And he turned his own head away, which is not the striker's fault if you do that for the most part. I mean, if you expose your back on the ground, you can't get punched in the back of the head, but it's a little different, I think, if you're standing. If not, you just walk at everyone backwards, and it means you can't get hit in the head. Yeah, I'm impressed with this guy, heavyweight man. I really am. I remember coming in, I was like, I was thinking about Junior. We picked him last week, both of us did, and then just listening to more people talk about him, other podcasts and stuff, and then seeing his record, I'm like, dude, this guy might be legit. And I hear they might give him Rosenstrike next. That's what I'm hearing.
That'll be interesting.
Yeah, because Rosenstrike's a technical big dude as well,
Yeah.
which I'm a fan of. So that'd be a good next fight.
So the next fight, dude, Kevin Holland. Is he
No.
legit?
I
Or
don't
is he
even
the
know.
luckiest man
I don't know
that had the
how.
luckiest year, dude. You have to at this point, like
I think
he's
he
just
earned.
good.
No, he earned his 4 fights before were legit. He's good, but no one was ranked. The last 4 guys. Jacare is legit, right? Jacare is, but he's also old, right? He's 41 or whatever, but he's legit. You know, he's a former Strikeforce champion. Like he's legit. That punch, I don't know how it knocked Jacare out. I'm
Dude,
thinking maybe Jacare's just
he
chinny.
fucked him up.
I know, but it was from a weird like I'm on my side like punch from the. I don't know, man. I was like, is Jacare just that chinny, or does Kevin Holland just have crazy power? I don't know, man. I don't know. That was a weird knockout.
Dude, it's just he's had. I mean,
Maybe he's legit. Maybe he's super legit. I thought Jacare was gonna run through him. That's what I thought.
yeah. I mean, he lost. So he lost to Brandon Allen by submission. Brandon Allen's pretty good.
He's pretty good.
But I mean, he beat Gerald Mankinship or whatever.
Gerald Mearshart,
Yeah, the guy that got eaten by
the Wolf,
the wolf.
GM3,
Yeah,
GM3, yeah.
GM3, yeah. But yeah, man, like I mean, like I just always wanted to like, all right, this is the time Kevin Holland hype train stops, and then like the way he knocked him out, I was like, man, this guy's like, I don't know, he reminds me of McGregor almost. Like the shit talking, like the things where you think he's always gonna lose, and then somehow he fucking pulls off some crazy ass knockout. Like
This is true. Until McGregor beat Aldo, I remember every fight was like that. Every fight was like, okay, he's gonna lose this one.
yeah,
like
like here
the
he
hype
goes.
train's gonna end.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Maybe he's legit. He's fighter of the year. Well, no, probably Figueroa because he's fought a lot and
Yeah.
defended his belt. But after the draw, if Figueroa would have lost last night, Kevin Holland should be fighter of the year, 2020.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It was impressive though. It was impressive, but also kind of a shame. I like Jacare, but he's old. Mackenzie Dern, not really a whole lot to talk about here actually. Yeah, she's pretty good. I won $5 from Travis, but she's pretty good. They didn't do a whole lot of grappling, which was kind of expected, I guess. Her versus Steve Buscemi.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. She was just like slightly the better striker. I don't want to talk a whole lot about that. I don't know. She looked good. She was slightly better striker. She's with Jason Perillo now, who, as we all know and love, took the Count Michael Bisping to the championship. Michael Bisping, if you read the book that was somewhere on your shelf, you'd know that he had a lot of troubles finding a team. He got involved with some shitty people. To this day, he's still involved with some crazy lawsuits. He had a lot of fights where his cornerman never showed up and shit. And then they after years and years and years down the line, they said that he owed them like team money and shit for being on his team, and he's like, "What the fuck? Like, you guys no-showed me. You guys did this." And it was a very interesting part of the book. Very interesting part. He's still to this day involved in lawsuits with them. Just some thugs basically running an MMA gym. Pretty much, he just happened to run into. But anyways, Jason Prillo, awesome coach. He coaches Cheeto Vera. A lot of good guys. Who else? I don't know. I'm not gonna spend a lot of time. Anyways, her Dern striking looked improved, and it was a close fight. I think she won. I think it was right. I think rounds 1 and 3 were hers. 3 was pretty close. But now this is what I want to talk about more than any of them. The co-main, the people's main event, as I like to call it.
Mhm.
Charles Oliveira versus Tony Ferguson.
Yeah.
I hate to say I told you so, but
I don't think anybody expected to see that. So, I mean,
I kind of did, but I
what I
didn't know
will
it.
say for Tony though, like, would the fight have been different if he didn't like have his arm broken the first round? Like,
I don't know. I mean, he
but
got
I mean, he was
dominated the
being
first round.
dominated at the beginning of the first, but like,
Yeah.
I don't know how he didn't tap.
He's crazy.
He's
Yeah, I think
crazy.
he had to have had something fuck up in there.
Oh, dude.
Had to have.
Yeah.
The pictures of it, or the still images of it are just so bad. It looks like his arm is like twisted. It looks like his like almost like I told you before, like an arm bar, like you want their thumb pointed up, so all the pressure's on the elbow. It looks almost like his arm's pointed down, but it's not because you look closer. His thumb is up. His arm is literally bent that much the opposite way. Something had to crack in there, right?
Mm.
Ugh. But dude, Charles Oliveira is the fucking future.
Yeah, he looked pretty darn impressive on the ground.
Everywhere. Did you
Yeah.
kidding me? His wrestling is good. He picked Tony up over his head
Yeah, he
multiple
slammed him
times,
twice.
slammed him, outstruck him. He's fast on his feet. His wrestling very good. He didn't struggle to take Tony down at all. Tony's a former Division 1, I think.
Dude, he's
No,
got a USA wrestling tattoo.
yeah, he's a high level wrestler, right? No issues taking Tony down at all. His wrestling is good.
All his takedowns though, weren't they after his arm was busted?
Well, I mean, how'd they get on the ground in the first place? He took him, picked him up, and slammed him. Picked him up and slammed him early. He's good, man. Everywhere, very well rounded. He's legit. Dude, what do you think? What do you think about this?
What?
If before he dominated Tony, he was ranked number 3, former interim champion. I would have said, I don't know about that. Maybe it's a little too soon. Maybe he needs one more. Dude, they were talking last night. Charles Oliveira fights winner of Dustin versus Conor for the vacant belt. I love it.
I mean, yeah.
I love it because now he's like 3rd, right? He takes Tony's spot.
Mm-hmm.
So now 1 and 2 are about to fight basically.
Mm-hmm.
And Gaethje's on the sidelines for now. Gaethje will probably fight one other person, then his title shot. Maybe Michael Chandler. I don't know. Oliveira versus the winner of Dustin and Conor for the belt. I love it.
That would be a good one.
And Oliveira beats both those guys, I think.
Ooh.
He's your next champ, dude. He's your next champ.
You're marking it?
He's the next Khabib, bro. Look at him. He's fucking so good everywhere.
All right.
He has like the most lightweight, like win bonuses, most submissions in UFC history. He's top to bottom crazy. Just before, you'd never seen him against guys like Tony, and fucking destroyed him. And did you hear Travis? See Travis in that goddamn group chat? What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? Tony lost. I said the reason I kind of don't want Tony to lose is because people will be like, "Oh man, Tony's done. This is 2 fights in a row. He's past his prime. He was never that good." I told you people were going to say that.
Yeah.
We witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. Tony's legit. Oliveira's just good.
Yeah. So next we have the main card.
Event.
Probably the best fight of the
Main
year
event.
for males.
Maybe. Yeah. There's so many good ones though, man. So many good ones. Felder versus Hooker was super good. Hooker versus Poirier was super good.
Oh yeah.
And then we got Joanna versus Zhang was still super, super good. That was early in the year. But yeah, this one's up there, man. This one was a banger, bro.
Now, I don't agree with the outcome.
You don't? See, I like it.
No.
I like it.
One,
I think he won 3
taking
rounds
a
of
point
2.
on the first nut shot is
The
bullshit.
second foul, Alex. It was the
No, it
second foul.
wasn't.
He had an eye poke in the first round. Bad eye
Fuck
poke.
off.
Dude,
No
you
way.
cheat twice, you lose a point. I
Dude,
don't.
that's bullshit.
How is that bullshit?
That is not. They need to have a
How?
fucking set standards, bro.
I don't even see your argument, to be honest with you. I don't even see
Because
it.
it was the first time. Are you saying so now? Like eye
He
pokes are the
cheated.
same as nut shots?
Yeah, what was the next one he's going to do? So if he did it, let's say they didn't take a point there. Let's say he does a whole separate third foul. He's still just the
What's
warning.
the third? What's the possible one? Eye pokes or I have them in separate categories. So you do an eye poke.
That's
once,
ridiculous.
You
dude.
get a warning. You do it again, then maybe you take a point if it's egregious.
No,
You
dude.
get
Listen,
one nut
rules.
shot, you get a warning.
Rules
Then
are rules.
If
If you break,
another one, you maybe get a point.
disagree 100%. I couldn't disagree more. Just because you're a John Jones fan, John Jones is the most eye pokes in UFC history.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Fucking John Jones never took it on championships fight. All his goddamn eye pokes, no points were taken. So
And he's widely criticized for that.
okay. I don't like the referee coming in and deciding outcomes of fights.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you. I definitely have a difference of opinion. I think the eye poke, right? Well, let's flip it around. Let's say it was a groin shot first. It doesn't matter. Like, here's your warning. Okay. It's not like, okay, now you can eye poke him and you'll get another warning. But if
Which is usually what happens.
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Right? It's like you cheat once, you get a warning. You cheat twice, you fucking get a point taken. I like it.
No.
What's it matter? He kept his belt. It's not like he lost his belt because of it.
Well, honestly, I think
You thought he won more rounds than 3?
I thought he won 4 rounds. I thought the only
Really?
round that he lost was the 4th. I thought he won the 1, 2, 3, and 5.
I thought the 5th was a lot closer. You don't think
Moreno
so?
didn't do shit in the 5th.
I didn't. You know what's crazy? Because everyone's, including you, were saying that he thought he won the 3rd. He almost doubled landed strikes in the 3rd round. Moreno did.
What?
I'd have to go back and rewatch it. Yeah, Moreno almost doubled the strikes landed in round 3. So I think they gave him 3 and 4. Is what I think they gave him.
I agree with the.
I don't know.
The
I think I think Moreno won. Look, if there's no, I'm sorry, not Moreno. Figueroa. I think if there was no point taken, I think clearly Figueroa won the fight. He won more rounds for sure. Whether it be 3, whether it be 4, I would say it doesn't matter, but I guess it kind of does matter when there's a point taken. Listen, if this will make you feel any better, I'll say that I thought he was the better fighter. I'm glad he kept his belt. I think he got the best of the exchanges, and I think he deserves to be champion. And Moreno's just really tough, and definitely at least won a round.
Yeah. So let's see.
If you can pull the strike in round 3, you'd be very surprised.
So I'm looking at the scorecard. The judge that the judge that had Moreno winning Figueroa winning agreed with me. He gave him 1, 2, 3, and 5.
But what are the draws then?
The draws gave him 4. One of the draws gave him round 2. So, and one of the draws gave him round 4.
Well, 4 and what
Dude,
else?
what? Okay,
Four.
so here are the judges' scorecards. So the guy who scored it right scored round 1, 2, 3, and 5 to Figueroa.
Okay.
So the one draw judge gave Figueroa round 2 and 4. The other draw judge gave Figueroa round 4 and 5.
Wait, hang on. You're saying are you meaning to say Moreno?
Yes, shit, sorry. Moreno.
Okay, you confused the shit. Okay, so
Sorry.
go back.
Okay.
So Moreno 2 and 4.
So yeah, the one draw judge gave Moreno 2 and 4. The other draw judge gave Moreno 4 and 5. So that makes no fucking sense.
Well, remember Daniel Cormier said he thought Moreno won round 2. He did land a few takedowns. I didn't think he won round 2, but I don't know.
I don't know how you give him 5. I have no idea how you give him.
I thought 5 was pretty close.
No.
You don't think so?
dude, both of them, their production went down crazy amount. And like Figueroa dominated the ring presence. He was the only one even like sort of throwing. Like that was when it looked like Moreno's arm was broken or whatever.
You're right.
And
No,
he like wasn't
actually,
doing
yeah,
shit.
you're right. You're right. Figure out
Dude,
wins round
these
5.
scorecards again make now I hate the decision even more. If I would have saw the two other judges giving him 3 and 4, I would have said, okay, that makes sense.
He
But now
outstruck
these two
Figueroa
guys
round
are all
3.
over the fucking place.
He did outstrike Figueroa round 3 by the numbers for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I like I said, I would have given him I think he won the fight. And you know what? Yeah, you're probably right. He probably won 4 rounds. He probably did. I don't know, man. I think that second and third were closer though.
I mean, I'll give it to Moreno. Like, I don't know how he wasn't knocked out like 12
Super
times.
tough,
Like
dude.
every
Super
like
tough.
he took so many hard shots where I was like, what the fuck?
Dude, but round 4, the one that we're talking about, he won. Dude, I thought he was close to putting Figueroa away a couple of times. He looked
Yeah.
good in round
He
4.
was good in round 4. I will give him round 4 for sure. But
And then I just assumed, I'm like, dude, Figueroa's he's just gonna keep this up in round 5. He might get a finish, but yeah, I try to be as I don't know, I won't say biased, I don't know, confrontational as I can. Maybe you're right. He definitely won at least 3 rounds
yeah,
for
if there
sure.
wasn't I mean, he would have won if there wasn't the.
Yes, yeah. We'll agree there. Actually, I think I do agree with you. Actually, I think I'd probably give him 4 rounds. I think I would, yeah. If I want Miranda to win, so if I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can, I think I'd probably give him 4 rounds. I'd probably give Miranda round 4, and that's it. But I think round 3 was closer than people think. Round 3,
Yeah,
it was
that's
like
why
it was like 11. It
the
was like
two
11 to
split
20.
judges didn't even give him round 3.
Yeah,
They gave
yeah.
him round 2 and 5.
It was like 11 compared to 20 significant strikes from Moreno. It was like pretty significant, if not more, in round 3. But I don't know. It was a really good fight. Let's just say that. He
All
keeps his.
right.
You gotta
Well,
you gotta go.
it's been real. Yeah.
Let me see what's next week. Anything good next week? Oh, Wonder Boy versus Jeff Neal. That'll be good. Josie Aldo's fighting Marlon Vera next week. Super exciting. Jillian Robertson's fighting Santos, the girl that was supposed to fight Montana De La Rosa. Oh, Anthony Pettis is on this card. Dude, that's not a bad card. Marlon Moraes on the card too. Dude, next week's not bad. Next week is not bad. I think we need to throw Kevin Holland on there, bro. Get him 6. Get him 6. Get your boy 6. I'll let you go, Alex. I gotta go. Hey, real quick, do you know? I think he might be. Is he the first guy to ever win 5 fights in a calendar year?
I don't know.
He has to be. Dude, that's crazy. 5 fights in a calendar year to win. I mean, I know people fought that, but to win 5 fights in a calendar year, it might be. He might be the first guy ever. I don't know. I feel like that's something I should have mentioned.
All right. I got to go.
But yeah, good work, fool.
All right. See ya.
See you, dude. Love you.
Bye.
Peace.